Why don't you want to take a skeleton on a date? Well, because they're dead. What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to break down all of the ways to maximize your daily ESO routines, from daily freebies that you might not be aware even exist, all the way to neat tricks to maximize the amount of transmute crystals that you can get, gold materials, and other valuable resources. I'm going to break this video down because everybody has different amounts of time that they can play ESO each day, so we're going to put freebies at the beginning. That way, if you're limited on time, even in watching the video, you know, hey, these are the things that I should be prioritizing because they're the best rewards for the amount of time that I'm investing in those specific criteria. And then the latter half of the video, that's going to be focused on, kind of more rare resources like, Jake, I really need to focus on maximizing my daily transmute crystal intake. That'll be things that we focus on in the latter half of the video. All that being said, we are 30 subscribers away from our next goal, so please subscribe and let's jump into it. And the first thing that you can do that's the best time for value is actually open this Dragon Guard supply chest. All the prerequisites just require you to have Southern Elsewhere unlocked, and from there you can open a free supply chest that has amazing rewards. But how exactly do you get this Dragon Guard supply chest to unlock if you have the Southern Elsewhere DLC? All you need is to complete the Dragon Guard Operative achievement, and here's everything that you can get inside that supply chest. Now, notably, the best rewards are going to be the actually alchemy ingredients, especially Joe's Dragon components. We'll open it here. But to complete the Dragon Guard Operative, it's actually relatively straightforward. All you need to do is the main story missions that will give you 9 quest completions, and then you just want to do 21 daily quests after that. And as you may know, farming dragons is one of the most profitable things to do in the entire game. So I always encourage any event that's focused on incursions that gives you reward boxes like the previous event and some of the upcoming ones. Kill dragons. Super easy. And then when you open the chest, you can see where you get some access to some good rewards. Dragon Blood, Dragon Realm. If we were to sell those on Xbox right now, we probably just opened between 6,000 and 9,000 gold worth of items, which is pretty great just for logging in. Some other quick considerations: this is once per account. Some people are leveling up multiple characters to try to do this. You don't need to do that. It is once per account per day, but it is the best way to log in and get free rewards. And in case you've never been to Southern Elsewhere before, you actually will not have this way shrine unlocked, so you're just going to want to start off by doing the main story mission. And if you've never, been able to start a main story mission, can't figure out where to go, you can actually click X right now or your equivalent over the Southern Elsewhere story, and it will take you right to where the story begins. The next few ones are very easy. Just log in, claim your daily login rewards. Easy. And definitely also make sure that you're logging in on some key months. Sometimes there's DLCs, crown crates, there's a whole bunch of good free stuff that you can find, resources, even things like the crown lethal poisons. Just having those will save you money in the future because now you don't need to make them. Tri-stat potions, my favorite type of potion. Just get them by logging in, and then you don't even have to worry about making them, wasting all your normal ingredients because you got some just for logging in. Next up, we need to talk about hirelings. Now, a lot of people think to themselves, I don't really want to get into crafting in the Elder Scrolls Online, or if you do, you only start to craft on 1 characters. There are 7 crafting lines: alchemy, blacksmithing, clothing, enchanting, jewelry crafting, provisioning, and woodworking. Now, jewelry crafting and alchemy don't have hirelings, but the rest of the skill lines do. What's a hireling, you may be wondering? Well, essentially, it's just a free passive. And every day when you log in on a specific character that has these hirelings as their passive perks, you just get free rewards and you get free materials for doing so. Now, this, unlike the previous, Dragon Guard's supply chest and even the daily login rewards, these stack across multiple characters. And you don't need to level up other things like your metalworking. If you're just deconstructing things across, your alternate characters and you're throwing some points into hirelings, that's just good time for value. And then all you need to do is just log in a couple times across your different characters, and then each one of them will get some hireling mail for you to open. The next best thing to do in your daily routine is to go to the stable master, talk to them, and honestly, in 2025, I would say your first thing you should upgrade is your carrying capacity. This might be a hot take, but with the next update that comes out in ESO, they are buffing the base game movement speed. Now, unless you feel really comfortable about your carrying capacity, you could focus on speed first. Now, stamina, that's the odd child out here. You can focus on that last. But personally, more of a carrying capacity, myself type of man, you can already stack speed buffs relatively easily. And if you're a new player, you don't have ESO Plus yet, you're going to be getting tons of items that you want to be able to hold on to. So every day, spend your 250 gold, log in, and get yourself your upgraded mount speed / capacity and or your stamina. And now, yes, we have to talk about your vegetables. It's doing your daily crafting writs. Now, a lot of people dislike daily crafting writs, but one, they're a great way to level up your crafting skill if you're on a low level character. You have to be level 6 to get into crafting writs. And if you're on a high level character who's got high level crafting, it's just a great way to get rewards and resources. And all you're doing is relatively straightforward things like crafting 3 Essence of Magicka potions, craft things like bare bones bows, as well as shields. Also, too, if you want to narrow down your searches, you can also hit quest only. That way everything just pops up a little bit easier when it comes to crafting and getting these done faster. Unfortunately, we don't have add-ons yet, so easy crafting writs are not here quite yet for console, but soon they'll do us even easier. And then all you need to do is go turn in these bad mamma jammas. Now, a couple important things to note. One, you can do these in pretty much any zone. I like to do them in Alinor, which is inside of Somerset, just because of how close proximity everything is to turn in. Some people like to go to other places. They like to go to places like Vivek City, which is another good place. Some people like Deshong, because it's already the trading capital. And so you'll notice that we just got 5,000 gold, and we got a bunch of things to open. And you can see that we're actually pretty much getting back and more. Just got a gold resource. Exactly what we just spent. Just got a gold Kuda. So not only are we getting gold for the quest turn-in, and we got a provisioning thing too. So it's going pretty good turning these bad boys in. A lot of people don't like these because they're boring. As a content creator, oh my gosh, we just got really good rewards too. Oh my gosh. All right, so that was actually pretty good. We got a survey to go along with it. So as you can see, it's worth doing. And also because you watch a Jakeclips video, and I try to give you guys good advice outside of what you've seen 50 bajillion, 10,000 times. Also, have the Gilded Fingers green champion points line. This will also make this even more profitable for you. And the Gilded Glory event, if you're watching this before that's about to start, will also have a huge impact on this as well. So it's good for gold. It's good for leveling up crafting. If you're on a lower level character, you just have to be level 6 to get into this. And overall, it's just great for resources, gold, and crafting experience. So if that's what you want, do these bad boys. But what are some other rewards that you should focus on daily? Well, the first thing that I would look at, as you can see, is there a Golden Pursuit active? Now, Golden Pursuits are generally a bit more focused on a lot of different types of content, probably things that you might not do if you only have 30 minutes to an hour to play each day. But even here you can see, claim 8 out of 10 daily login rewards. Something you would do for logging in, and the rewards at the top are always going to be different. We have an outfit style here. The next one that's coming out in February is going to be PvP related, with a lot of interesting memento type rewards where pick up animations and things, a little battering ram harvesting rocks for you. So very excited to see what those are in the future as well too, but always check for Golden Pursuit. You'll know if it's active because this will be glowing. Other things too is check your daily endeavors. We'll talk about why daily endeavors are good, but it's not always just daily endeavors that are here. For example, during some specific events, you could see things like Undaunted Keys. You could see Transmute Crystals. You could see Experience. You could see Gold. It's always good to check these every day. Usually that's during specific events you'll see those. And then weekly as well too. Sometimes, again, you'll see different types of resources, but definitely check those out as well. And if you've never used your Seals of Endeavors, just head on to the tippy top of your menu, go to Seals of Endeavors, and anything that is in a crown crate can be purchased with your Seals of Endeavor. So there's a huge, wide, sweeping range of things that you can purchase, from mounts to things that you can earn in-game. Personally, I really like to buy the really costly crown motif styles. Now, you can buy these in the game from other players, usually for a few million gold, but I just find that they're a really good value to purchase, especially for 3,600 Seals of Endeavors, which is pretty easy to get to. But you can see skins, there's all sorts of stuff. So Seals of Endeavors, Definitely check them out each day. There could also be some hot bangers in there, potentially Undaunted Keys again, AP, Televar, Transmute Crystals, and so on. Speaking of transmutes, one of the best ways you can earn Transmute Crystals is random normal dungeons. You can see we get premium supplies here and a ton of experience. But also, too, your Battlegrounds is also an avenue to getting tons of rewards, but not necessarily for the reason you might think. And after you do finish your average Battlegrounds experience, which ended 1-0, which truly is the 8v8 Capture the Relic experience, you're going to get a whole bunch of gobbledygook in the mail. And this also goes for Cyrodiil. Now, whenever you get a Rewards of the Worthy for the first time each day, that's 25 free Transmute Crystals for yourself. Now, you might think to yourself, Jake, it's kind of annoying to get, essentially like 25,000 alliance points every single day. But if you just get a whole bunch of Rewards of the Worthy on a weekend and you pull them out of your mail throughout the week, that's 25 Transmute Crystals per day, because it only gives you the trigger once per day, but it only counts once it comes out of your mailbag. Now, this is per account, so you can't like switch characters, get 25 transmutes per day per character, but you could still get the Rewards of the Worthy on any character as long as you let it sit in your mail. Then you could just open them throughout the week and get a whole bunch of transmute crystals. But if you're lower level, it's actually sometimes a little bit better to do a random normal dungeon, because the lower level your character is, between, like less than 50, the easier the dungeons that you can queue for. And honestly, sometimes having ESO Plus is a bonus too, because if you don't have some of the hard dungeons that you can randomly queue into, well, then you're not going to find yourself in Veteran Fang Lair if you don't have Veteran Fang Lair as a potential place to find yourself. Now, obviously, to queue yourself on normal, but I would want to find myself in Frost Vault with a bunch of randoms who just want to do their dailies and don't want to do mechanics. It could be really nice to get yourself some non-easy base game dungeons. And if you're low level, you're probably going to find yourself in like City of Ash 1, Spindle Clutch, the real easy classics. You can also complete your daily Tales of Tribute. And just to be clear, all of these are separate things. The daily XP and the rewards you get from Battlegrounds are separate from the random daily dungeon, which are separate from Tales of Tribute. You can see that you do get a Tribute Master Purse by doing this. Decent bit of XP, but the rewards from here are actually pretty decent. Decent furniture that you can sell, decent ingredients, materials, and things that you can get from these. I will warn you that the average Tales of Tribute game is probably at least 20 minutes on average, with some of them taking longer, like 30 minutes. So just to let you know, because even Battlegrounds, like when they run for 15 minutes, plus queue time and everything, that kind of feels like a little bit of a time commitment. And when it comes to the best daily routines, it's a bit of a sticky wicket for me to be like, well, just invest 40, plus minutes into this one activity. But I do just want to point out that you do get better rewards the first one per day. Another great habit to get into is your daily Undaunted pledges. Now, a lot of people think that you really have to be high level to do your Undaunted pledges, but literally, if you talk to Mr. Redbeard here, and honestly too, in 2025, even if you talk to Madge, the pledges that you get from them are relatively straightforward. Even the harder ones, you can see we're going to Elden Hollow. You could probably do that almost blindfolded. There's a lot of power creep, even in the base game of, ESO sets, the stats, the crafted sets. Like, there's a good chunk of power creep that makes a lot of the earlier dungeons relatively easy. And so you want to do these bad boys to get your Undaunted keys. Now, you might think, oh, do I need keys as much, Jake? Everything is bound to me. And that's true, but don't forget, too, that you can also buy some cool skill styles, too. So Undaunted keys are not just used now for these curated set drops or these one-piece drops, or when available, the monster-style shoulders. So there is still more of a reason, plus they do cost a little bit more. So if you have a little bit of time, I would always encourage people to do the easy one, which generally is almost always Gilleron. You can talk to him. He'll give you a really easy dungeon. Let's see, it's probably like Cupcake, mansion here today. Yeah, Vollenfell, super easy, barely an inconvenience. You could blow right through that. And in case you've never been to the Undaunted Enclave before, they're in every major base game capital. So I'm in Wayrest, which is inside of Stormhaven, which is just over here. But Mournhold and Eldenroot, the other two major alliance capitals, also have the Undaunted Enclave. Another great habit to get into is daily quests, and if you have the Gold Road, certain daily quests have better rewards for you. Let's break those down. So if you've gone through the Gold Road and you've completed the Wing of the Griffin, the Wing of the Dragon, and the Wing of the Net, you have access to different script drops based on daily quests that you do. And the first one that you do per day is actually guaranteed drop. So for example, the first daily Delve quest, daily Mages Guild quest, and PvP Rewards of the Worthy, you have a 100% chance to get a script drop from one of these activities. And then you can get one of these bad mamma jammas here. Now, if you were to do a daily World Boss quest, daily Cyrodiil quest, or daily Fighters Guild quest, you would gain access to the ones below here. And these are 100% guaranteed script drop from the first daily coffer of each different type of daily quest mentioned, and a 25% chance for a repeated daily of that type for your account. 3 guaranteed signature scripts per day, which is not too shabby, meaning if you've got time, you could do a World Boss quest, a Cyrodiil quest, and a Fighters Guild quest. But that is not all, ladies and gentlemen. We have our affect scripts, which come from World Event Quest, Daily Imperial City quests, and daily Undaunted quests. So a whole lot of options. If you're looking for a specific script, I'll make sure to link this in the video description because you might want to focus on doing these 3 specific ones. But what's nice is the next thing I'm about to tell you is which daily quests give you the most rewards from specific zones. So you can pair that knowledge with this knowledge. But also note too that if you have your companion out, you could be leveling up your companion by also taking them through and being like, hey, Isabel, today we're going to go through and we're going to do some Mages Guild. We're going to do some Fighters Guild. You normally have to pay 3 event tickets, but honestly, just take her through some Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, and Undaunted missions. And when you turn it in, make sure that she's present. And you're going to be hunky-dory. And so every single DLC zone in the entirety of ESO has daily quests, which is great because you've got options, but it's bad because if you're me, a content creator, and you're like, oh, Jake, which one should I go to? It's like, oh. So here's the trick. Generally, the newest zone is always the best. Why is that? Well, because there are things like furniture motifs that drop from there. There are normal, style motifs that drop from there. There's new sets that come from there that people don't always have collected. So the newest zone, people have all those completionist hooligans out there. They've had the least amount of time to complete it. And also, too, it's kind of like a staggered release where when Gold Road came out, they had a bunch of stuff in their daily reward coffers. And then in the second half of the Gold Road, an update later, they added even more stuff to the daily reward coffers from the Westweld zone. Now, when it comes to that, generally, the newest zone will be the best. If you're watching this in 2 years, imagine if I was able to call the next zone, the Winterhold zone, the College of Winterhold zone. Well, that'll be the best one to do in 2 years. Imagine we call that right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen. That would be incredible. But normally, it's the newest zone. Now, some of the older zones that have just retained a lot of really good value generally have decent sets, like, Vardenfell sets there sell pretty decently. And if you're just trying to get scripts, Blackwood also is pretty decent. Killing dragons in Southern Elsewhere, we have already discussed, ladies and gentlemen. You need to complete those daily quests to get the Dragon Guard operative so you can get your daily rewards chest. So I would definitely focus there as well. But the nice thing is if you do the Westweld zone, everybody's already here killing these bosses more than other ones. So you're not going to struggle to sit at a world boss that nobody's sitting at. Whereas if you went to like the, another zone like Hughes Bane, for example, you're probably not going to see as much people there just because it's not the newest zone and the sets there, everything else don't put a good highlight on it. And just in case you're like, Jake, I don't even know where these daily quests are. They are right here inside of Skingrad, inside of Westweld. So if you need one to start off with, these are your 3 daily rewards, people. They will give you, again, guaranteed script drops. You also get really nice thing, potentially some really rare motif pages, some furnishing plans, other things like sets that you can deconstruct even to get some good materials back, style items to get back. It's just overall a really good investment for your time, and I would highly recommend that you guys start doing some daily quests. And these don't take a lot of time, and it's just a good way to explore the zones too. See different places. So that's usually the trend. There are some zones, again, like Blackwood is another great example. The Blackwood zone It just looks really beautiful. So people still want the plans, because if you look around, usually how a zone looks is also how the furnishing plans look. So if you're like, wow, this zone is really beautiful, the furnishing plans are probably still really sought after. Versus if you were to go to places like the Deadlands, it's like, oh, yay, BDSM cages. I don't know why these aren't selling on the market. Unfortunately, there's not enough Riften rats that are buying all the BDSM items. They aren't very wealthy in Riften, unfortunately. But everybody else, we love the Westweld. We love Leowin, which is inside of Blackwood, making those daily quests better than the rest. And some other miscellaneous dailies you might want to consider too are like your Infinite Archive dailies. They're pretty quick to get through. You just have to get through the first arc. Gives you a good chunk of archival fortunes, which, you can use for both Filer Uld, the homie over there. Always love me some Filer Uld. He's got the weekly assortment of items. And then his little brother over there, whose name escapes me, you can also buy items from him. But don't forget, every day too, you can pick up coins of varying amounts off of his table, but you can't pick up the ones on this side of the table, unfortunately. Another really good habit to get into is learning all the traits. Now, you only need to do this on one character. You don't need to have traits unlocked on every character, but it is really important for new players. If you're like, Jake, I am not a crafter. What do I look, do these hands look like they can craft something? Here's the thing, right? Let's say you farm the craziest dungeon, the Ball Crusher 900 dungeon, and you get the set item you need. You get the lightning staff that you need, but it's in the wrong trait. It's in the training trait. You're like, I don't need extra XP. This is the best PvP item in the game. I don't want this to have a bad trait on it. Well, you can change the trait on it, but you have to have it researched. You have to know how to turn it into sharpened. If you don't have a sharpened lightning staff learned, well, you're not going to be able to transmute it to a different trait. So it's impenetrable, imperative. I'm literally combining impenetrable and imperative to do this right away. Now, if you find yourself more PvP inclined, start with Impen. If you find yourself more PvE DPS inclined, start with Divines. But generally, these are going to go pretty quick for the first couple of pieces anyway. So once you're going to pretty much do all the essential traits right away on these bad boys. But it's just really important that you get in this habit right away as a new player, and even a returning or endgame player. You got to have your research done. So everyone, thank you guys so much again for watching. Please put in the comments below, what are your other daily routines that should be added, because I will pin the best one. I tried to keep this concise, but I also wanted to include all of the important ones. So put your comments below as to other things that you like to do daily. And as always, we're doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is leave a comment and like on the video. Second thing is just make sure you're subscribe/follow on Twitch and Twitter for an additional drawing. Again, we are so close to our next subscriber goal. And the third thing is look for a hidden word be flashed upon the screen. I will also be doing another Ask Me Anything type question too, where the first person to guess something correctly wins in the comments, but not in this video because I want it to be focused on additional best daily routines as well as other rewards that you guys think are imperative to get each and every day, because I want that to be filled with the comments below, so that way if anybody's new, they can get even more advice in the comments. So thank you guys again. Have a happy Wednesday. Hopefully your tomorrow is payday as it is mine, and I'll catch you later. Bye guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jakeclips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.